Welcome into Tacobowler Gaming. My name is Tacobowler. Today we continue our run playing as the Union in Grand Tactician, the Civil War. We have some major readiness issues happening, but we have managed to succeed in what we were trying to do here. The Army of the East, though, I've seen better. And part of that is that Lynchburg doesn't have any supply. There's some supply here, but not present where we are. The Army of New York, though, can build a depot. So let's go ahead and get that started. And with all three there, let's get the commander on over. I don't know what they're going to try and do here. There's also the issue with what's happening up here in the Army of the Peninsula. So part of me is inclined to pull at least one back. I think we will. We just wanted to defeat the army. We did not need to actually fight anything. We didn't need to stay, that's what I'm looking for. We weren't looking to come down here or anything, we just wanted to fight that core and get them out of there. And then Ohio here, we have some massive supply issues going on, with the actual army there. They should be getting supply, they're not. So, a little strange. But I guess we build again. It's one place it can go. That's going to cut our costs, or cut into our costs for sure, but oh well. And there we are, the Army of the Valley. Facing, that's a different army. But we should win this. Let's fight it. Alright, the Battle of Strasbourg. Here we have two parts of the Army of Pennsylvania, the Department of Pennsylvania. I guess it's all of it. And they're coming in from opposite sides, which creates a little bit of an issue because of the order delay system. And in particularly this Army of Pennsylvania down here, being so far away from the department head, even though I detach it, doesn't get to operate on its own, which I really don't like. I think they should be able to operate on their own without getting an order from all the way at the northern part of the map. But you'll see a couple of times where it's just not moving, and that's because the order delay is coming from all the way up there. But we have a major advantage in manpower and soldiers here in this particular battle, so I'm pretty aggressive and wanting to be pretty aggressive, but we're assuming that they're going to be somewhere along the victory point, if they're not up there at that spot between the two rivers. That was another spot they could be, but I figure they're probably at the victory point here. So we're going to move very slowly, just to try and get the two armies to hit the victory point at about the same time so that they can use all of their firepower to knock out the enemy army to the best of our ability. Certainly to do some significant damage to it. But yeah, we're going to just keep moving down. Keep moving down. So we have the Army of New Jersey. There that goes. And then we're going to bring in the Army of Pennsylvania over there. Get the cannons to go. So at this point, I'm recognizing the order delay problem. So I'm bringing the Department of Pennsylvania, bringing Grant himself to the middle. So just trying to ease that a little bit. And here we go. So now the order delays are going to be about the same on both sides. So we're doing a lot better there. So here we're going to move away from the river. We had a division that was punched up on the river. Away from the river there, and then cross the bottleneck. And I see them there. So I'm recognizing the Army of Pennsylvania is going to get its chance to regroup. And so now I can officially bring the Army of New Jersey down. I can bring Grant across the river. And I'm just going to have the Army of Pennsylvania sit there and see if I can get the cannons to fire. I don't think I ever successfully get the cannons to fire from this position, but that was the idea. Was just have some cannon fire while we get the Army of New Jersey down from the north and set up the pincer that would try and do some massive damage to this army. In theory, we should have had an opportunity to really destroy them pretty well, but I'm noticing at this point also that it's very close to the end of the day, and then the end of the day hits here. So we're just going to set up at the next day. So at this point, I'm trying to, there's a little fence line right there. You can see me trying to mess with some of the units there. I'm trying to set up the cannons right on the fence line, so they can fire into the flank there. But otherwise, I'm going to set these cannons up to the north. And I originally had them guarded that way. But then I thought, actually, I can guard them with a level 3 parapet. And so we'll move that division back down. But at this point, we're all just set up here. And we are going to try to use our advantage. So here I go with the parapet. A couple of false starts. I'm not really sure what the problem was. I think you can still build over a unit that's there. So I assume that the problem was just me being too close to the edge of the blue line there. Not sure. But there we go. We got the level 3, so those little things up in front should guard that. And we were able to put a parapet there, and I think I even got it up to level 2 for those cannons, just to again provide some cover and some security for them. And so here we've started our time, and we're just going to move in and try to encircle this army and be firing at it from all sides. And I figure, oh well, that should be pretty good. I'm actually surprised at how many casualties I took from this. I didn't really think that they should be able to fire on everyone, but maybe I just, it does, make a difference that 100 men to my army of 40 some odd thousand is very different from 100 men to their army of significantly less than that. I don't remember exactly how many they had, but significantly less. But here we are completing the circle. We've pushed them into the middle. This is where I feel like an army should be allowed to surrender, like the entire army surrender or something like that in the game, because that's the kind of thing that would happen at this point. But I understand in some sense why they don't. You can't just eliminate an entire army. I probably could have if I was willing to use up more of my men and just melee at this point, but there's a risk, of course, to melee at this point. So I'm trying to clean up that hole there. But yeah, we're just raining fire in from all sides. We have the cannon, and somehow they actually have a higher casualty than me. They're doing something. I don't know what they're doing, but they're doing something. They got a couple of wounded in action there against us, but we are routing some of their units pretty well. And then we have our first captured. And that turns this into a moment where everyone's retreating, and now everyone is breaking. Except for that one that's coming in over there. Not really sure where they were or what happened there, but there is another captured right there. But everyone is breaking except for that one, so now I'm trying to turn some men around to make sure we get that. But we have a major victory, and I'll take it.
Glorious victory at Strasbourg. Again, thanks to the 3017 we captured there, the casualties evened out, but I took a lot more than I was expecting to take there. Not really what I thought was going to happen with that. But, oh well. The key important part there is that now our readiness with these two armies is very low. Not sure if they're going to be able to fight the division there. And if these guys move on Washington, not a ton that's sitting in their way. But we're down to 35 national morale for the Confederates. But this needs... cannot get done fast enough, except for, like, this is here. This should be sitting over, but... Whatever. It might be. We might get it eventually. So, let's see here. Oh, Maine. Army of Maine. You've lost a few commanders. Looks like we've got some that are appropriate, but we need to replace them. Because they are terrible. That'll work. And yeah, one of these divisions being down that far is... yikes. But we'll make it work. We'll make it work. Okay. So we can get Australian rifles, but I don't really think that that's what I wanted to do. Is this politics or diplomacy? It's diplomacy. Okay. We definitely do not need more recruits at the moment, because we can't afford them. So I think that that's what we're doing here. We're going to do trade deals on diplomacy, and we're going to do trade warfare and military. Yeah. And then we still don't have any markets, so we're going to wait on the other. Department of the West is doing good if we could just get... Jeez, these... You know what? Deployed to defend. Do you have the city? You don't. Can you get there? You're now in Kent. You get in there. And we have Grenada now. So you get over there. We have quite a few. We are welcoming back another wounded in action, Colonel McReynolds. Good. I don't know if we're going to win that siege or not, but we are successfully consolidating, beginning to consolidate the Army of the West, which is a goal of mine. This is now captured, which is less than ideal. Why is that not ours? Clear this guy. Push him out. Go deal with him. Alright, how's the East coming along? Anyone improving? Not really. Nor with Pennsylvania, which is now just going to stay put. They're just going to stay put. But we are to 32. We are to 32. Yeah, we're doing okay. I think. More of these! Oh, infrastructure reform. We need that. We need that. We can trade warfare again on this. And I think what we're going to do here is we're going to take our combat fleets. We're just going to increase the blockades that we have going here. So this one's blockading through till there, so home, you can blockade outside Wilmington. Baltimore, you're going to blockade, I'll blockade around here. And then Cape Cod. Oh, they're already doing that. Okay. So we have good blockades going. There's not much they can do, but we're going to try to extend our advantage there. If at all possible. And now we just need me, literally just me, to get my readiness up. Glorious victory at the Atlantic! Oh, we captured an enemy ship. And, Wilmington Squadron 3 has disintegrated. Something happened over there. Union Navy is unstoppable! So we got a thing where we completed 5 consecutive Navy battles. But all that did was affect my morale. It did not affect theirs, which is very sad. Alright, so we now have 2 armies over here that are engaged in the fight. We are still outnumbered because they're not actually engaged in the fight. That makes me extremely sad. Come on. And we moved the Army of Indiana, which affected their supply. And the Army of the Northwest came all the way up here. Took this position. Okay. How about the Army of Kentucky? Go respond. You come back over here. You go respond. Ooh, the Department of Pennsylvania is, their readiness is coming back. That's very good to see. I like that. Let's go ahead and move these 2 in against the Army of the Peninsula. Let's go ahead and fight that fight. probably a couple of battles that we're about to set up. Savannah Squadron has disintegrated. The Army of the Peninsula is leaving. That's good. How about we get the Army of Oklahoma involved in our fight? The Army of Iowa is involved in the fight now. So we are a lot closer in number. If we can get the Army of Oklahoma involved in the fight, it might be GG. Then we just need to bring me down. We can make for Vicksburg. The Army of the Trans-Mississippi, 7,000 strong. Okay, you're still marching. But this is flat out a victory. We're pushing them back. That is flat out a victory. Which we like to see. We like to see. Can I? This will increase support of our nation in the conquered states and territories. Reduce enemy support in conquered states and territories. I want that. Twice. Because I think that affects the national morale. The support that is in place. Glorious victory again at the Atlantic. Continues, and the Army of the Peninsula retreated into Virginia proper. These Navy fights, they're going very strong. Baltimore Squadron, a little less ready. But otherwise, they seem eager. We'll keep fighting. Is what it is. These guys have already retreated. So they just flat out retreated. They just flat out retreated. I guess we could maybe reinforce. That would make some sense. Oh. And it looks like the Army of Arkansas has decided they don't want anything to do with this fight anymore. So even without the Army of Oklahoma, now fighting the Army of the West. No, we still need the Army of Oklahoma. We still need some more help. Which we can get as soon as I get down there. They're marching. The Army of Missouri is marching. This will work. This is helpful. And we're down to 31. Starting to get to the point where they're just going to run away. Kinda no matter what. Yeah, lots of people are low on supply. Got it. We understand. They're low on supply. We're working on fixing all of that. Alright, go back. We scared them off. How's the East doing? East is improving. East is improving. Boy, if I can get my unit down there, then we're winning. just need it to turn yellow. I think it has. We keep issuing more bonds. We're up to 1.3 billion. Can you go down and join the fight? Because if you do, with the siege train that you have on top of everything else. But we actually have quite a few armies over here in the Army of the West, but look at the numbers advantage we have now. This is pretty solid, but the Army of Kansas is mostly broken. Of course, many of them are broken as well. So the question is, do we just risk this? Actually, vast majority of their units are already broken. Withdrawn from the field. A fair few of ours are too. The Army of Missouri just showed up. I think we're going to risk this because we don't have full numerical advantage. I think we risk this. I love the new feature of the readiness being over here. Army of New York's green again. I think that we turn glorious victory at Helena. The Army of Arkansas is fleeing in panic. Yes! It worked. Okay. So pause. How close are you guys? Yeah, far enough away. Still a lot of men in the Department of the East without the Army of New York. I'd like to have the Army of New York, but I think that what's important here is to keep the pressure. I'm going to send the Army of New York on its own ahead to Raleigh. And I'm going to try and take Raleigh, leaving these two here to complete the supply depot and get a little bit better on readiness. And then we're going to continue on down to Wilmington. Someone needs to take the fort in Moorhead while we're at it, but we will do that as we can. Home. Baltimore Squadron's up to 29 ships. Goodness. Alright, Baltimore, you just get directly up against Wilmington. There's a fort over here, so stay on this side of it. Home Squadron, get up here for this fort. And I think that's the end goal of the Army of the East. It's to take those two forts at Wilmington and over here at Moorhead and take the coastline. Maybe someone grabs Charlottesville while they're at it. These guys are going for Nashville. These guys are going for Vicksburg. And Little Rock. But for now, we need to get the Department of the West. Is down here. That's part of why that worked then. So they're already down here. Good. Everyone needs readiness, including me. Of course, we have no supply. Actually, we have supply. We do have supply. It's coming down the Mississippi. So head on over to Vicksburg. Jackson, too. I think that taking national capitals affects the national morale more than anything else. I just don't want to send these guys off on their own. Especially when the Army of Missouri has 6,000 men left. Do you still have an army? $815. Goodness. Like, I know these armies are still around, and I don't want to mess with that. I think we keep everyone together. We've got plenty of volunteers at home to come reinforce, but not doing very well. What we can do, though, is to bring the Department of Pennsylvania for a final clash with Jackson over here. 12,000, 16, 15, 17. Department of Pennsylvania doesn't have that. That's okay. We don't need to have that kind of final clash. What's going on here with things here? Missouri State Guard is way down. The Army of Tennessee is the one that had all the troops. But unless I'm able to come over and take the supply depot here, so unless we're able to fight off the Army of Tennessee, and the Army of West Tennessee, by the way, is right there. Yeah, unless we're able to fight that off, which we're not currently, not without the full Department of the Ohio, no point. We're not even taking Corinth back. This thing's just sitting here. So, yeah, these guys, we do have supply coming down. We're okay. Gotta keep that, but we're okay. They could go back and take Nashville, but I think it's more important to come down and take Vicksburg, and more importantly, Jackson. I think that's the targets. Maybe send someone over to Little Rock, but I think those are the targets. Alright, let's go. Glorious victory at Wilmington. We have issued more bonds. We're at a B-. 200 men were recruited in one brigade. I guess a cannon? Have to be a cannon, wouldn't it? We're still doing war bonds. That's 7.2 days. That will increase our credit rating by 2. That will help. Because we are majorly too much. Confederacy is printing new notes. Yeah, we might have to do that next. Someone's invading. Oh, they've actually pushed into Missouri. Do it. I don't care. The Army of Oklahoma, for some reason, has decided to go there. Can you take Little Rock? Since you're over there? I don't know where the Confederate forces are going to actually retreat. They should retreat, right? The Union has issued war bonds. So yeah, I think we need more money still. What does confiscation do? Yeah, that increases support. We don't want to increase support. We're going to print notes. And we just get $50 million in brand new printed money every year, lowering public wealth. Who knew? Just printing money when you need it, not a good economic strategy. Why am I the one that the readiness is down and everyone else is good? Am I too far from the river or something? Maybe. Also very curious why these armies are allowed to exist. But if I move me, we'll be back. We'd have to move back to the very edge of Missouri, and I don't really want to do that. So instead, let's go to the Army of Missouri and, I guess, build, because of course, more money. Actually, the Army of Kansas, that's the one who's not moving. So let's put the supply depot... There's nowhere to put it, seriously? You can't build one. Anywhere. What's the problem? They could build one. Really, I don't actually truly don't know what the problem is. Well, that's fun. Okay. Okay, whatever. We really need the Army of Ohio to get built up as well. Ooh, the East is all ready. And Raleigh is ours. That puts them at 26. That puts them at 26. Okay. Army of Vermont. They're let's win this war, aren't they? You go here by any means necessary. Army of Maine. You go to Charlottesville. Army of New York. You come down to the fort. I'll just go down to Wilmington. By hook and by crook. And the home squadron. Ooh, the home squadron should be up here. But we're actually okay, because Cape Cod Bay Squadron exists. They exist. This should win the war. On its own. These moves should win the war. We're going to leave the Department of the East up there to finish the supply depot. Ooh. We should be able to win this, I think. It's going to be tight. Let's at least try it. Let's try it.
And here we have the Battle of the Mississippi. Somewhat similar situation to the previous battle in that we have two armies that are separated, and I can't put them together in the deployment here. However, this time we are defensive. We have the victory point, and we can set up some entrenchment here. Here I have a hope that we were putting them together, but no, that one just wasn't attached yet, so it jumped up as close as it could get in its little segment here. Trying to figure out what I had put with me with my general. Turns out it's just 3 infantry units, so okay. I knew I had some men, and I was the only army general that had any. So at this point I'm trying to figure out, where do I put my parapets? Do I put it near the river? Do I put it at Centerville? Because I expect that they have to come into that intersection in Centerville. I decided, nah, we'll just stick it back with Rocky Bridge there. We upgrade the parapets as best we can, and we move. We're going to again put the cannons up front and get ready to have the cannons reinforced by manpower, and call it good. Now, as soon as we get there, I want me to move there, and maybe I should have double timed it, because I did know that they were coming from the south. They were coming in behind me, and so I did know that. I was just believing I got a head start, which I did. And so, just trying to get over to join the defensive positioning. where it is there in Centerville. So that's the plan, and we're traveling right up the road, which is exactly how it should have been fastest, but something is happening along the way, and that one turns, and they're starting to get clipped by some cavalry behind us as the Confederate Army does show up. And I don't really have a large manpower advantage, so I really can't lose anything here. Don't really want that to happen, so I'm thankful that they begin to go through the forest here. Here the Second Army arrives for them, but I'm thankful that they're going through the forest because I believe that's going to help me along the road get across this river. And I'm hopeful, but that cavalry gets through quickly, and this brigade just doesn't. Again, they're turned, and I'm not sure why they were deciding to turn. This is their first combat for them, so that could be something, but they continue to baffle me here, and the Confederates continue to move quicker than me. Of course, that's probably not the first battle for them. So here we're just trying to get as fast as we can. Here's something else coming down that road. Not great. But I'm hopeful that if I can just get into the cannons, that the cannons themselves will open fire and will hopefully stop them in their tracks. And you can see that it kind of works. They kind of stop when the cannons are there, but then they move forward. The cannons are firing. You can see down there it says firing, but here they have cavalry charged into the back of that last division there, and that got him. Here's another one broken. So now we only have one. We're desperately trying to get in here. We're going to bring up some skirmishers to try and help them to get in, as the entire Confederate Army is right on top of us now, but they break. All three of my units have broken. I really didn't have them to do that. And then my army turns because I misclicked. Now we're out of the parapets. Now everything is going bad. They've flanked the parapets, and now it's just a brawl. And it's just a brawl, and they're winning that brawl. Here's another one, broke, and then the enemy is retreating. Why? Because we captured them. I think 2,300 or something like that. Captured nearly 20% of their army in that one brigade surrendering. And that's basically because the war is going bad and their morale is so low to begin with as part of that. However, even though they're retreating, not everyone retreated, and I really have to still survive the counter. But we do. Won, and there it is. We survive the counter, and we get a major victory.
A glorious victory at the Mississippi. The Army of Western Louisiana fleeing in panic. I got lucky. More than a little bit. Lucky with all of that. Goodness. Supply. But, importantly, we are now down to 25 national morale, as that took 0.97 off, according to the screen. So we are closing in. That's it. General Tacobowler with the war-ending battle at the Mississippi. Just how I planned it. Of course, that was not how I planned it, but that was amazing. Great. The Army of Kansas under General Tacobowler. I love it. The war is over. Confederacy sues for peace. Union Army is triumphant. The rebellion has been crushed. The campaign is over. The American Civil War has ended, with the Confederate armies surrendering to the victorious Union armies. Union field commanders report Confederate soldiers laying down their weapons. Some smaller bands of Confederate soldiers are reported to still be resisting and trying to escape capture in Mexico. While small-scale skirmishing and fighting is still ongoing, the war is finally over. The President of the United States has called for a grand review of the armies in Washington, D.C. This grand display of the Union's victorious forces on parade will fill the city full of amazed citizens to cheer the troops and hard-fought victory that they achieved. The President of the Confederate States of America is reportedly fleeing to avoid capture, which is what happened in real life. The Grand Herald congratulates the victorious troops of the Union. With the war over, it's time to think about the future. Will America heal from the wounds of war? Or will it stand once again united with Northern and Southern citizens of all colors together. Union victory, July 11th, 1862. Yeah, war's over. There's a... Last time, there was a... There we go. End page. So these pictures are supposedly reenacted pictures from like the early 1900s that were taken by people who had been in the war at one point. But there we go.
So what I was going to be looking for here before it closed, and I wasn't expecting it, is down about halfway into this picture here. The battles won. They won 6 battles, which is a shame. I'm very ashamed of that. But I won 36. You can see the total casualties there of 68,000 for me and 99,000, almost 100,000 for them. And you also can see there the economy, where I'm at 209, or they're at 209.8, and I'm at 18.6. And I think that was why I had so many money problems there at the end. So anyone can tell me how I could have managed the economy a little bit better besides just deleting all the supply depots. I'm all ears. But yeah, I thought it was a good campaign. Now to finish it out.
I guess that's it. It sent me back to the menu. But that was it. I thought that we would be able to check and see how many battles won, how many battles lost and things, but guess not. I hope you've enjoyed the series. I regularly, every year, I participate in something called National Novel Writing Month in November, which means that actually a lot of these videos have been recorded a long time ago. that I start sometime in September. I start recording ahead so that I don't have to record anything in November, because National Novel Writing Month is writing a 50,000 word rough draft in just the month of November. So all my time, all the time that would get spent on YouTube gets spent on that instead in November. And so I've recorded ahead a long time, and these videos do take a lot longer to record than most of my videos. So I know that this game will not return to the channel until at least December, but it will come back. We'll give a try at the Confederacy, perhaps. But yeah, the game will be back. But I do hope that you've enjoyed this campaign and that we finally managed to get all the way through. And I'll see you around.